OG now have pick of their own. Picking up the Terrorblade is something that they do all the time.
Rex is looking to kill, for example, the mid one, and it could have happened. I saw mid one was getting pretty low, but he stabbed up. But Puppey decided to rotate bottom, which ended up in getting a kill. And S4 on top lane. Oh, what a nice play.
Keep himself alive. Jerax was in the right place at the right time. Well, makes it a little more painful. They will find a good angle on
Fly
in the bottom
lane.
lane. And this hero does not have a lot of armor. He
has nothing on him.
And he will be going down. No tail. Just gonna watch.
Are they baiting? They're just baiting, actually. But I think Farah might just... How do they keep recruiting
Team secret.
because of the players they have? They are not
to pick.
Slow burn supporting crew. The resolution matchup that is a little unconventional.
somewhat hard.
Any harass that you put onto Resolution is not. In the near future, he should be just fine.
So he can actually match the Alchemist and farm if he's able to keep this up. And the sidelines are going okay for both teams, I guess. S4 versus Para is probably gonna be a pretty boring reforming for both. Are they going in on no
Jumped in on no tails. Crowd mana is there with the stick and the death pulse. He's body blocked a little bit. Yapsor though can't really stick around. And just a limitation to an anti-mage lane. If they burn out the Necropros, they still will have the sticks to get to the Ghost Shroud, which I guess will cost a little bit of defensive health there, but it really isn't easy, or I would say even possible to kill off 0 here until you get that level 6. At that point, oh yeah, you go for that every single time, but still a long ways off since anti-mage is in this whole lane. At least Puppey though now has that point sacrifice, so they can start eking out an experience advantage here.
Yeah, No-Tail is struggling when it comes to HP and mana regen. He could contest this lane a bit like normally. A Necro host doesn't really care, but he has it built in the skill set. But having low mana and you can't really go up in a lane a bit cocky that you normally can. And Resolution and this Yarax lane is a bit awkward because I've seen now several times he uses Illuminate and it ends up in Resolution missing 2 lost hits, 1 lost hit, 3 lost hits, and he's could have been up around AM. Maybe not at AM, but a bit closer at least.
There's a reason why we see Alchemist usually go to mid lane. It's not because he dominates those lanes, it's because he apparently, by virtue of how the hero works, just pushes out the lanes really fast.
This is one of the more smarter items for And he's moving to the jungle.
Fly in the battle of the century. Lucian's here.
Oh, Yapsor.
Really wants this bounty rune. Is gonna grab it.
No mana
no
fly.
mana, though, so I think Yapsor
Oh, what a play.
Just fine.
And that was so well played. Like, he wouldn't have gone for it if oh, top lane actually, there's a split lead, just only for survivability, I think. Oh, could this be a kill actually?
Spell magic, pretty good on that tornado. Vada can take shift, but he'll die to the immolation or the crit. As S4 resumes his main form, Split on top is so difficult to use to actually get a kill.
Dire's
You
middle
have to be
tower
pretty much
is under
perfect on
attack.
that cyclone timing, but he indeed was. Kill off the puck, having a very easy start, or a very safe start that puck, but not to stay the case. They're now looking
No
at
take.
where No Tail is. Tower is gonna die here soon.
That's gonna be a deny most likely. Yeah,
Dire's
so
middle tower
I
has
think
been
it's
denied.
okay for Fly to make that move. He makes the tower get in deny range, but just getting it down means a lot. So I don't really blame him for making that choice. And I mean, as for, I think that was a pretty, maybe a somewhat lucky play, but just you know, when you get the crit kill, it feels better than just getting it with ultimate. So I think that was calculated.
We're looking like right now is the Soul Ring. There's not that much mana cost associated with the Drunken Haze to spam out on the puck, but sure, if you're going to use the clap as well. Brewmaster isn't really the sharpest nail, so does need a little bit of help in his mana pool, and it doesn't seem like there's really any pressure that they're going to apply to him up towards top. If they are going to apply any pressure, it's going to be on resolution on the bottom lane, not
He has
towards
no
Brewmaster
ultimate.
up towards top. They're going to lift him up,
Radiant are
and
scanning.
then I guess force a no-tail rotation.
Yeah, they did do that, but that's a pretty good play. I think it was a decent chance at killing him, but they felt like if we can force the people, we're gonna be happy about it. And a haste on Far actually.
Dire's
Resolution
top
used
tower
ultimate
is under
now,
attack.
so
I'm not really sure what hero they should be going for right now. Fada's gonna skip over the Illuminate and look for Jerax instead of No-Tail. Definitely the easier hero here. Coil onto 2. Fada has got to watch himself because No-Tail doesn't have an ultimate, but the Sonic Wave will come through first. No-Tail is gonna go Ghost Crowd. Nice will not get the kill. It's just short. With the
Oh,
Basil,
the raindrop.
they'll lose 2. Fada styling, and those type of kills, and maybe not on the heroes that would really like
Dire's
S4.
top
Those
tower
resolutions
is
still
under
alive,
attack.
but those are the type of kills that you need to get
Dire's
space for your hands
structures are fortified.
yeah, and talking about Animage, he's doing something that I haven't really thought about that actually make also is I think a genius animation, because
Dire's
normally
top
when you see
tower is
Animage
under
mid,
attack.
it's like they get the boots
Dire's
and they
top
maybe get a
tower
wand or
is
whatever,
falling.
and a raindrop, they pick up these small items, and the Battlefield
Radiant's
comes
middle
out
tower
at
is
19
under attack.
because they died like once and
Radiant
it's 40
structures
seconds, but
are
he's
fortified.
straight up rushing the Battlefield. And I think this is a really good move, because he's gonna get it at a pretty good pace, even though it could be better if he was safe and uncontested. But this is gonna escalate his farm a lot, and I do think this is the optimization that might win them the game.
Top lane, taking a jump in mid one though, not getting any lucky bounce with Chain Frost. No, actually they will. At the very tail end, he will be dropped by the dots. Now mid one has a blink. No
He
real
should be
action
fine.
for S4 though. Mid one, sticking around, will pull out a rock that will be dodged. The Earth aspect will bring S4 back to safety. I mean, the Battle Fury, it's the fact that he went for Battle Fury without boots, where like movement speed up against Necrophos is not really going to matter all that much. And the fact that Perseverance is, you know, a terrible item to have, like cost-effective wise, it's really bad. But regeneration in this fashion, where you're just taking a couple death pulses every once in a while, you have the ice armor and of course the 4-man shield, some pretty high base armor to survive those right clicks. It'll just pretty much solve all of his regeneration issues, kind of akin to the problem that we usually see picked up by mid laners that are not anti-mage. So Ace is gonna have a 12-minute Battle Fury, no boots perhaps. It's gonna take quite a while longer, but he will be able to at least somewhat, as much as anything can, match the Alchemist farm.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a pretty good secret. I think if he went the normal build, as in like getting maybe even brown boots, would shortened his battle period so much that it could have been a game-losing mistake. But this is gonna keep them in the game, I think. Resolution is decently farmed, even though he died. Once he is keeping up as an item he should, and he is gonna get a good timing on the Radiant. Anti-Mage is gonna try and contest the Alchemist farm, and the timing is gonna hit when Resolution gets the Radiant. Are they gonna play it passive or gonna push? Because that's gonna determine most of this game until when Roshan starts happening. That's when the game will change again. But OG's decision making now is gonna be crucial.
Have the Blink Dagger on the Quartermaster. No splits just yet, but for sure OG are ready to team fight. They have pretty much all the tools they need. I don't know what happened to Yapsor. He like jumps into some sort of hyperbolic time chamber. He's level 8.
Jerax on top. Gonna get killed by mid 1.
Mid 1 is going to be fine with in the area, but level 1 concoction isn't going to be doing all that much. But yeah, using a Coddle, level 6, we got level 5 on Fly, the Jakiro. These levels are coming up pretty large on the secret side, and for a Lich you would expect that with the sacrifice, but for sure Rubik that spent most of the time just controlling between bottom and mid and not really getting all that much action, his level is actually disgustingly high for right now. They are thinking about maybe setting up for no-tail. It does feel like they need a third hero here. Have another Chain Frost at the ready. Puppey is nowhere near position though.
No, I think another Bruce here is gonna be scared to make any moves. Fara is just gonna crit skip, I think, which is a pretty good move in itself. He did clean away. Oh, that's a committal though. I think he should die here.
That is not going to be a kill. It will go down. This would happen a lot faster than I thought it would. Did they reduce the cast time of that thing?
I'm not sure now, actually. I don't know. This hero has been like out of the meta for so long. I don't even remember how it changed. But no, I think that's okay for Farah, that play. I think it's definitely. Oh, meanwhile, Ace are stealing some major stacks actually. I think he stole some ancient creeps. Gonna steal 2 double stacks. At least 1 double stack. I don't think he'll get the other one.
Jump out of there. Not taking.
Meanwhile, on bottom lane.
Yeah, bottom lane McIntyre was used. Puppey and Yapsor kind of walled off by it. Mid one, of course, does have that blink. He can give chase, but careful not to chase too far. Two fire dots will stack up, and he doesn't have any bottle charges. Backup is coming in the form of respawn puck. Yapsor not quite close enough to pull anyone back in. Starting some fights though, and still this is only effort of space creation for Ace. Ground Boots has power treads on the way, I would assume. Yes, they're on him right now. Still, you're not going to ever mirror the farm of an Alchemist. That's never going to happen as an anti-mage, but he's doing his darndest to try to keep up, and the rest of the team in the meantime also looking for these aggressive moves. Spotted in the Yapsor, joined by Puppey a little further in the back, looking after no-tail, but can't quite find him. Foil would have been used, but just finding that frozen middle, nowhere like that, that would be fine. They're going to defend this top lane as well. Some Raid stolen on Yapsor, it's tanky now, I guess.
Fada going for a fly.
Get right on top of him with his grenade. Foil now, Fly will drop. After they kill off Resolution, it does seem like they need another 2 heroes for this. And the heroes are actually coming in for OG first, as Jerax is going to pull in S4. Got no-tail walking up there. They'll take this tower slowly but surely, but mid one will make a tower play of his own on the bottom lane. So it's going to be perhaps a little bit slow for OG. Like, the tower's nice, I'm sure, but they really, really want a team fight right now.
Yeah, but they're kind of trying to punish Fata not having a blink, I think. That's their plan. Oh, there's more going in deep. That's probably 1 kill on Jastor.
Lift up the lift. Might still be able to get it off, but spending so much time in the air. We'll finally ditch it onto no-tail, which will not be a chain frost, just a frost. And that is going to be the team fight that we're looking for. Now that is going to make the difference. It's not really like on the best heroes to kill off, but still you get involved in the fight as the Alchemist. You take down that tower, you're able to use the split to get a handful of extra kills. And that's exactly what OG should be looking for. Whenever they have that split, whenever they have that sight, just walk around, look for the team fight, And then once it's done, just fall back in or enter your lanes, because the anti-mage is going to be split pushing those out for as much as he's worth. That's Midas now on the Brewmaster, as well as an Atos on the Necrocrust. I'm trying to deal with this anti-mage.
Oh, mid lane, fly.
Though is going to get jumped by mid one. Sonic Wave is available here.
He has to commit it.
He's not taking it. He's going to use another screen instead. He will get
an Atos?
S4 right on his face. He still has a blink. He will not get down to the low ground though. He doesn't blink far enough. He will go down, and off to the side, Resolution comes and cleans up Yapzor. That was a little bit of a greedy play there from Secret.
Yarax pushed him. He knew mid one was gonna blink backwards towards his own base, and he, oh my god, what a play, because he pushed it. Oh, that was such a good play actually. And I mean, mid one should have used ultimate, then nothing of this would have happened. But he wanted to greed. This is a pretty classic pop mistake, as in like you want to save your ultimate because it's such a long compared to other spells that are shorter cooldown and are higher impact at times. You want to be very reserved on it, but it's punished. The OG punish it very heavily, and Resolution is getting scarily farmed now. Ace is doing a good job at farming, but compared to an Alchemist, you're not. It's gonna be hard, and also OG does have very good axe heroes. Boomers still looking on bottom though. Needs one more attack. Could this be punished?
Will get scythed up to stun. Much more than split. He's now out of mana thanks to that coddle and fly again. Just
meanwhile, Secret are smoking. They want to catch people.
Go in a little bit too far. They have the storm.
It doesn't smoke.
Windwalk forward. It does not blow the smoke though.
It needs to be the Earth Panda, I think.
Earth Panda is the main panda. No Tail is going to be grouped up with said panda. Huge table. Big one does jump in on the No Tail. Orb damage is enough. Chain Frost this time bouncing through pretty well back to F4 and the Nuke can't hit one. So he's going to get torn to shreds. High Resolution and Jerax. The Alchemist pulled in by the coddle. On it now, trying to make this escape. He will orb quite down to the low ground. Looks like he will still survive. And Secret also slip out of there with the Lich. So all things considered, the trade still isn't great for them, but trading between the Pain for No Tail and for S4 is going to be well worth it, but still they have yet to deal with this Alchemist. He's going to take yet another tower, and I'm not really sure if he's going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, it's a nice play from Secret, but it's not going to be enough if he keeps going depths, or he's playing very cocky. The team could back him up here though. Oh, self-stun.
Defensively used there to get rid of
Can make a rage 5-second cooldown.
2 seconds older is the opening here for Secret, and they are going to jump in with Bada. Sonic Wave here. Ace has also arrived. Sonic Wave, Ice Path's still stolen, but Resolution is still fine, although Ace
he's trying to
he'll get it with the Mana Void, blink out. Before an Atos can land on him, he can also get away from S4, but Puppey does not have that same luxury. They go in really, really deep and just get annihilated by this Illuminate. Now Yapzor and Bada stuck aside. Yapzor actually not stuck. He wants to be down. Like S4 actually going to jump forward for a little bit of action onto the Rubik. He deals just the clap. That's not going to do enough. And Bada's very low on mana. It's returning. S4 No Tail.
Prime is split in one.
No mana void to actually get the last hit. He's got to fight against evasion, and now the split is out. Onto the Anti-Mage won't do a lot of damage. Can he buy enough space for No Tail and Jerax?
Oh, he has to be careful on
out. Silence with No Tail. Faithful will get the kill as Ace.
Oh god, this could be horrible for S4.
Now he has
think
to
he's
try
out
to
of
make
range.
a break for it. He does have a Blink Dagger. It looks like he should probably be fine if no one's getting chased. But ultimately, kills are exchanged, and I think Secret come out.
Yeah, that was good. I'm so scared when you see a Brewmaster commit ultimate and doesn't get anything, because then Rubik could steal the ultimate, and that's total disaster. But he did play properly, and he did use send up on Rubik while running out with their panda, so he secured his own escape and made sure that Rubik could not steal the Panda split. So that's definitely the sign of an experienced player right there. It doesn't change the scenario for Circuit much though, even though they got some nice kills. They are still in this position where they are letting a Resolution free farm, and they are not farming that good, and also S4 did pick up on this Midas earlier, so the game state kinda has to change for Secret. That either happens by continuing farming and then getting some takeoff, or maybe going for a bigger play like a Roche or a big smoke gang.
Watch out, Resolution is moving
Dire's
up
middle
towards the
tower
top lane.
is under attack.
Going for
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Blue Monster.
On bottom lane, dead in the
Big
direction
kill,
of
huge kill. That's
Point
a...
clap from the Rubik.
Yeah, it does so much damage.
Radiant's bottom
very
tower
efficient
is
stuff.
under attack.
Ybrax is running down to defend it though. He is not going for an action, so he's gonna be expecting that later from the solution. But that makes the game maybe harder to when it comes to defending, but Tiger are not really in a position to push either.
Delve in by themselves, get another Jakiro. Now all these previous Jakiro kills were baits. This
Oh,
one,
Ace bottom lane? This could be a bit scary for OG. Do they have TP response?
they just teleported mid, so I would assume no. Oh, no tail have this in 2 seconds.
Yeah, but that's still 5 seconds that Ace can push more or less. So I mean, he's not gonna get the tower, so it's not a disaster or anything for OG. But this is the type of plays that will make Secret be able to win this game. He's gonna be scared.
Radiant's
A bit
bottom
disappointed
tower
that he
is
didn't
under
do any
attack.
damage, but then gotta be careful about that for OG. And Secret could definitely go for some kind of
Radiant's middle
like
tower is
split
under
push
attack.
play on Ace.
Radiant
Bottom lane
structures
is
are
where the jungle
fortified.
camps are. Of course, that lane is as well. Very impressed with Secrets.
Radiant's middle tower
Though the
has
Alchemist
fallen.
is leading by a good 4, almost 5k gold above the Anti-Mage, the allies are really starting to suffer. That's even with this Midas on the Brewmaster. No Tail is very, very poor on this Necrophos. I still think this is the right build, or a good item at least in front of Aethos against the AM and the Quap, but not enough sights landing on kills, not enough farm being given towards him because of the fact that he's with an Alchemist. They just typically tend to just devour all the farm on the map, and of course the Anti-Mage is stealing a lot of that farm as well. So now Secret, their gold deficit is entirely doable. That is such a small net worth lead for an Alchemist team.
Yeah, it is. And also, you know, S4 went on Midas to try and increase that network lead, and it's not really working right now. No Tail finally picked up his blink. He is struggling a lot. He's gonna be forced. Resurrection is definitely gonna be forced to give Necro like act maybe a bit earlier. But I think kind of the meta nowadays, or like how teams play nowadays, is that they don't necessarily give a lot to the true carry in the team, both in like Liquid and OG, for example. So this is a smoke that needs a kill, it needs results.
Flank in, finds Ace with one stun. Puppey sneaks in a fourth pass, but there's a lot of Ace. Nice pass in, kill nowhere close. They do
questionable.
Kill off Puppey, but they lose S4 elsewhere. There's an Orchid on mid one, that's why they're able to take down that Brewmaster. So Ace Mage survives, and that exchange for OG is nowhere near worth it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they could have. Resolution went for late. And I'm not sure if that's a good or bad decision. If he went for Anti-Mage, I'm not sure it would have worked out. The solution does have a lot of right-click damage though, which would have been efficient on Ace. I was definitely questionable though, and Ace is starting to become very farm now. Just looking in his items, he is scary. His Lincoln is super hard to deal with for OG's lineup. And also the Orchid on the mid one, there's no answer to it right now. There is a Manta on Resolution, but that's it. This is an important failure.
Too much for them. With the double damage though on Resolution, they will be able to jump in, grab Roach. Pretty safe, pretty quickly. Dota, Chain Frost is out as well. Will bounce back to S4, will get split off. Resolution takes a lot of damage from that in the meantime. Wasn't ever gonna decide that. Wow, that Sonic Wave was not the play mid one. now he's in a little bit of trouble. Blink up to the high ground to try to make a break for it with the bottle fighting against that mana leak. We'll have another blink now, and he will get away as they take down Fly elsewhere.
Oh, space created.
Looking for No Tail perhaps. The Pain has survived. No Tail though is pretty difficult to actually deal with. Resolution will survive at the end of the day. Barely. But over towards bottom lane, Ace is going to start ratting. S4 is here, but the haze gets blocked by the Lincoln Sphere. And this tower is going to drop here. S4's not holding by himself. Ace is going to grab it and be on his merry way. Secret now with the gold lead above the Alchemist draft, as OG just can't find the proper pickoff.
Yeah, and I think S4 is regretting his Echo Saber choice this game. It kind of makes some sense, but compared to maybe a Lotus, it seems lackluster. And like I mentioned a few minutes ago, Ace's split pushing power is real, and that's also a result, or I think, of Huddle going for these items instead of trying to get an Axe himself. But it's an issue when you have that he consumes too much gold, and bottom lane Lie is gonna go down, and not a major kill is gonna spawn before they can mount a push if they do that. But Shrines should be taken down now, slowly at least, if not directly.
Like, Ace is gonna leave that Shrine alive even though it is live. I mean, it takes quite a long time to actually kill off the buildings. I'm not really sure if it's worth it for him to go for that above going for these jungle camps. But
I think he should send some mantas there. The thing is, when you kill a tier 3 at the kinda early, you don't really, it doesn't trigger in your mind instantly. So it takes you like a minute or two before you realize that trying to kill him. Hopefully, I don't know if mid one. I think that was a weird blink by him. I don't know if he predicted it or if he just kind of blinked randomly. Maybe he spotted.
Here, so concoction will never do anything.
Yeah, so I was a bit confused there what happened. Because Resolutions did see the Lincolns at the same time, so it was a bit bizarre. S4 is not doing too good on his Brewmaster this game. He's pretty far away from the BKB, which he does need pretty badly. Ace is almost caught up to Resolution. He might catch up within a few minutes, which is not the dream scenario for OG here.
Secret are getting just all this farm on all these heroes. Supports are not doing crazy good, but Yapthor's net worth is looking pretty darn good. Above the Coddle, who usually gets
Radiant's top tower is under
He's
attack.
out-farming him right now, so Rubik level 16. Stunning for that additional spell steal level. It's not really going to be huge. His talents are they're fine, but it's not game-breaking. But still, just being able to level up, getting this gold income. Who knows what his next item is going to be? It might be the Lincoln Spear, might not be, but already they have 2 Lincoln's effects on the team. Maybe a little bit. Perhaps can change, but these items are not coming up
Dire's
on the OG
bottom
side.
tower
Like Fly
has
is
fallen.
constantly getting picked off.
Radiant's
Jerax
middle tower
a
is under attack.
very low amount of farm. Yapsor, please. Bottom lane though is still being pushed. Aegis is not really with that much duration.
No.
You gotta try to leverage this Alchemist though, because I'm pretty sure OG know that their timings are slipping away.
Yeah, this is a pretty forced push, but it's also a scary push at the same time. S4 did get level 18 just now, so the primary split is strong, especially just using it to take down a tower maybe is a good play. The only thing that you have to be very scared of then is that Ace just kills your entire base. And during that you might get a Rax, but Ace might get 2 Rax. So I think this push is good, but it's super scary that they might get split pushed. But most of Secret are keeping home to defend, and Ace does he have a TP? He does have. Everyone is ready to defend if needed, but yeah, this is a pretty forced push overall. Like, this is not what you want to do, this is what you're forced to do. So pretty peculiar that they're really going for it this hard. Jerax is not ready.
Of Jerax being able to yank them back in 25 seconds, of course.
I think it might be a play like that.
Really hold back Ace by himself though. Mana leak is usually pretty annoying, but with a Lincoln Sphere and a Manta style, that really will never work. So this is probably going to be OG, I think, just falling back. Like, if Secret just teleport with everyone right now, except for Ace. They'll get this tier 2 tower in the mid lane. This tower in the bottom lane for Secret, like, it will be chipped at a little bit, but with Ice Armor, and the fact that Alchemist just doesn't do all that much damage or destruction with its build, I don't really see this working out well for OG unless they could win a big team fight and really force the issue in this bottom lane.
I think they might try and use Brewmaster Ultimate, even if it ends up being S4 dying. But it's a very risky play. It's 30 minutes in and Alchemist is not ready to give any Axe though, which is not a good position to be in at all. A free farming Alch would at this point be starting to get Axe out. They are very good Axe heroes on OG. I think that's their main card to play in late game. But the Ace he is getting very scary. Not only for the cores, and not only for the supports. I mean, the cores have to be very scared of Ace now because of Basher on resolution, and that's a potential solo kill.
Gone for not that AC that he had in his quick buy, just going for the pretty classic Alchemist build. This is completely standard stuff, but even if he does have that Chemical Rage on, like, he'll just take so much damage from the Anti-Mage with the Man style with the Basher. Should be able to survive that, I would say, like, assuming there's like a 4-staff or Glimmer, and there is quite a bit of tools that OG can use to help out there, but it is getting to that stage, right, where the Alchemist, despite being 5k net worth ahead, is kind of gonna have to play by his timings, kind of hope that the Anti-Mages get those lucky bashes off. Of course, that Abyssal is always gonna land, at least for right now. No way to absorb that on the OG side, so this is, as you said, a really, really desperate play here for OG. Alchemist had a lot of time to farm in this game, but the allies on his squad, they definitely suffered.
Yeah, it's not a pretty sight for, especially for Note. He's getting an Orchid, which is very rare on a Necropose. This boss is taking a long time, still DC, getting a bit worried about that. It's already been a bit over 5 minutes, I think. Still not back. Haven't really given a specific reason either. Slowly getting a bit anxious.
Starting something. Could be anything. Hey, Windows updates. Here's great time to install. We're just gonna go ahead and install some updates for you, Yapzor.
Yeah. That's not fun part of Dota games. Mid one going Shivas. He has had a remarkable recovery though. You know, remember that Sonic Wave in mid lane he did, which was a big mistake, and then he played it perfectly after that. I remember he ran, so he had like 61 mana for the blink out. If he had run just a little bit too long, he wouldn't have been able to blink, and then he would have died. But he ran just perfectly distance and then managed to blink out before he went down. And I think that was at the same moment Ace ratted bottom. That was a pretty slick.
Ran up against the wall. Ace is stuck in the base of the Radiant right now, up against the buyback from S4. We'll be able to blink out, we'll be able to make the escape. Alive though will not. They drop the coil and get another one. Secret get 3 heroes, pull out a buyback, keep their tower alive. I did not expect that result, and I don't think OG expected that either.
No. Imagine if S4 had a Lotus that fight though. Then another. That is pretty frustrating. Not only for us, but even more so for all the players, not only OG of course. But I really see the Echo Saber as a big mistake from S4, and I think he probably thinks that as well, as in the Lotus could have been definitely a game-winning item in that fight when they commit for him that hard and he just pops ultimate. Worst case scenario, I think they take the tower and get out alive with most. That's like the worst case scenario for OG there, I think.
Now S4 forced to buy out. At least still has that ultimate. They have a target up towards the top lane. Anti-Mage is gonna have time to dodge this projectile. He has Manta in 1 second.
He has Lincoln as well, so
eat this, like, he'll be fine.
I don't think Irax will get in time to trigger the Lincolns in any way. Even then, I doubt they have the damage to kill him.
Ace.
They could get
take
close
down
though.
that tier 2 in the mid lane. No real damage outside of that. Looks like he may have tried to go for the coddle in the meantime, or I mean, ended up in the middle of the Radiant base in kind of an awkward spot, but still was able to take the tower, and the fight was won pretty handily by Seeker without them. I'm kind of surprised by how little damage that Scythe did versus the Lich. It looked like he had percentage-wise enough, but I guess that Shrine healing just doing just enough to keep that Lich alive.
Yeah, it's not a level 3 ultimate either on Necro, so. And other than that, there aren't really any. Alchemist doesn't have the most insane talents. Pop has one incoming that's super good though, spell lifesteal. Capsule is actually pretty high level as well, but his talents aren't ridiculous either. No-tail going pretty deep here.
Pulse by Yapsor is going to bring No-tail a little close to the mid one, who's not that healthy.
Meanwhile,
we did have the Lincoln Sphere up, and in the backside we got a coil onto 2.
Axe on Yerax as well now.
Daylight though. Jump in, the Alchemist also runs out, and he does get the agency claim. Up to the edge style now, but he's not getting that much support from his allies. Will again have another ultimate available. Aatrox still bouncing, they'll disengage away from the split. Potion does go out, Yapsor will dodge it, mid one has a blink out, as does Yapsor. The chase is on for Secret Heroes, but already we have a couple getting out. 2, 3, 4, everyone is gonna live.
What a good
Oh my
pick.
god, that was very close to being an absolute disaster for OG. This still is far from good, but it could have been so much worse.
Yeah, very good escape from Secret. As soon as the Premier Split comes out, they all run. They realize that that's what to be scared of. So they bait, and after getting a 4 kill on Necro, who is struggling mildly. Mid one, gonna have a TD. He is very close to the Shivas, which is a pretty big pickup here, especially against the Brewlings, I'd say. Also good against. Oh, what is this?
Well, Ace is gonna go towards Fly in the mid lane. Sonic Wave will cut him down. No-tail gets silenced in the meantime. I'm not really sure what that Alchemist play was. No one
they were trying to make some good plays.
He's gonna find a Mana Leak on the Anti-Mage. He'll immediately buff it out. Resolution gonna scratch.
Oh, he has no ultimate now.
Damage here. Now the Magnifier. That's stolen by Yapsor. It looks like it is. They'll get out there with Jerax scooting down to the low ground. Mata does have the foil, but no real opportunity to jump in there. So Secret once again getting in, getting out, real clean. And they just have to kind of wait for nighttime. I feel like that's the only thing that's keeping OG and their base intact right now is the fact that Jerax can counter push and he has full vision, so he's not going to get picked off.
Yeah, the cores on Secret are so elusive.
Radiant's bottom
You know,
shrine
they have
is under
3
attack.
blink arrows, and they are very strong. They have Lincolns on 2, and Spada he has even more elusiveness than the other 2.
Radiant's bottom
They are Ace.
Here, Scythe won't quite kill. Illuminate, still not good enough. The stun duration, though, seemingly forever will kill off the Anti-Mage. Now chasing after Yapsor, I can't juke this.
So that's the gem as well.
No, not gonna happen.
Oh, he didn't have gem.
Heroes over in the bottom lane. In the meantime, Jakiro gonna get jumped by the Quap. No Sonic Wave though, so a TP out is gonna keep him alive. Take down 2 of the biggest possible targets. I mean, well, not 2. One of the biggest possible targets with the Rubik as well.
I mean, I'd say 2.
Will get out, but they do take down Ace, and that is not an easy task.
That was a bit too greedy by Ace farming that neutral camp. I thought he blinked out and like, oh, he's out, and then like he blinked like closer to them. But I'm not sure if they can push here. I think Ace might actually be able to hold the buyback. Mid one bottom lane. He's gonna get a solo kill.
Either mid one in this lane or elsewhere. 5 will die to soul burn. And they will eventually Aatrox over in this lane, trying to bring the burn a little bit, but the ice armor, only the Lich holding this. Lich Swap is doing her job on the bottom lane, looking for racks.
On no tail.
Corner here at this resolution. Although it's really out of mana, they will get the jump in onto the Brewmaster. He has no split damage here. Plus, he's kind of being kept out. He's one will solo kill No-Tail in the meantime. They're still fighting over this mid-racks. The anti-mage is up in 10 seconds. OG don't have
they
enough
need to get out.
power here. And Nighttime is
cannot
going to
fight
be
there.
very soon as well. The Brewmaster is doing the soul burn. He's silenced. Pushback is going to give him some space. The split, though, is not going to come out in time. And now anti-mage is back. Can he catch up to anyone?
Call.
Looks like Jerax is in vision range.
That's
and
a
he has
gem.
dust. They are going to take down the Coddle, take his gem.
Magic. Magic. Magic.
He buys dust to replace that TP scroll. That's a really smart heads-up play there. It seems like a no-brainer, but if you're playing an anti-mage, those type of things of do we have detection, it's not really number one in your mind. It's more like do my supports have detection for me. But yeah, this Roshan is going to be responding momentarily. And with bottom lane, pushed by super creeps, pushed by Fada as well. OG, they will really struggle to get out on the map and actually get to the Roche pit while still being somewhat inconspicuous, let alone make the fight happen afterwards. Fada is still playing games with them over in the bottom lane. Lincoln Spear will block that root from No-Tail. Forces out the coil, but S4 and No-Tail right now are just kind of awkwardly stuck doing nothing, while in the meantime, Secret are working on Roche.
Yeah, meanwhile Fada is like, why aren't you killing Roche yet, guys? I'm keeping them here. They are gonna get it. I think it was a bit slow, but it's gonna be fine. They made sure that they are there. Is there another axe out yet? I haven't paid much attention. There's still the one on call. Yeah, that's the only one. And it doesn't look like Alchemist is gonna get another one for someone. There is two pretty good ones, I'd say, or like the two next one would be the S4s as well as No-Tails. I don't really. The Primus Pit doesn't get. It's the stealth, right? It's not that much more. So it can be neglected, I think.
I think anyone really is, as far as Brewmaster is concerned anymore, not really interested in going for that all in on the ultimate. They still
Dire are scanning.
Ag Brewmaster, I think the guy is just absolutely monstrous. Now it's definitely a lot weaker and Max Fire.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Upgrade either. Top lane power will be put in. Has that Aegis, and the Pain does have double armor items, double plate mail items rather. AC and Jesus Guard to those instead of the straight Maelstrom, which she will actually just get next. Actually killing off this Queen of Pain will be pretty difficult. It does seem like No-Tail is really the only person to do Resolution. All base damage can't really afford to. Jump in, the Limitation's going to keep it. Don't have any protection here. ACC blinding light switch back to exile that off though. J-Cross still bouncing through. Onto the next post. That'll be No-Tail down. He can't get the sight out. Resolution now on the run. And the Brewmaster is doing what he can to slow down this chase, but Resolution is not getting enough help here. Falcon starts the buyback. In return. Rulings, they are not in a great spot right now. They're chasing forward, looking for Jerax to release Fada. And mid one, they are going to try to go for this Keeper of the Light. The damage is just enough. And where did S4 get off to? He is going to survive, it looks like. Just narrowly TP out. Most ultimately will have buyback, but still Secret. Now with a 26k gold lead above the Alchemist. Looking pretty darn unstoppable. They're going to try to make one last inspiration fight, but mid one taking literally no damage here from that Alchemist hit. They're going to get on top of Jerax, kill off the Coddle for good. He's down for a full minute, no buyback. Still, they have the keys, and still they have the keys. Mid one is not losing any HP here. Live forward with the spell life steal. Get right back into control. and he's just gonna continue this fight. Anthony's where is he? He's gonna jump right in, kill off S4. That's GG.
Yeah, what a performance on Secret. Really clean aces. Stefan performing as a carry for them. You know, there's the game 1 where he played the Knights, that was not the most fun out of Knights I've seen. Here he just plays the total #1 role to kind of show that he is not a one-type player. He's definitely versatile and very talented, and I think he made the most impact for his team to take this game.